In this video, I'm going to show you how to run Ornith, a new open source coding model, directly on your machine using LM Studio. And the reason this is interesting is because larger Ornith models are putting up some seriously strong coding benchmark numbers. The 397 billion parameter version is shown competing with major frontier level coding system across benchmarks like Terminal Bench, SWE Bench Verified, SWE Bench Pro, and other benchmarks. So this isn't some random open source model release. This is the big version being positioned as a genuinely powerful coding model family. But here's the catch. Most people can't run the 397B model at home. That kind of model is for serious cloud setups, multi-GPU machines, or labs. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you the realistic version that people should actually start with. The 9 billion parameter model. We'll go step by step which version to download, what hardware you need, and how to load it inside of LM Studio, and how to generate a simple app you can open in your browser. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to go to LM Studio, and this is essentially where you can download and run AI models locally and privately. So I'm going to download this. So the download has started. So with this now on my system, I'm just going to double click this to install this. And so now this is finished installing. Let's click run. So now you can see we've got this up to date. So let's click get started. Then what it's going to do now is just update the catalog. So we just have to wait for this to boot up. Now we're going to click skip for now because we don't want to install this models. And then we're just going to click continue to LM Studio. So now I'm going to hit this as full screen. So now what I want to do is search for the model. So on the left hand side, if you go to model search, here's where we can search Ornith. And so this is where you can see multiple different Ornith models. But here's where you have to make sure you want to choose the right one, because of course, not every single device is going to be able to run Ornith because there are different GPU requirements. So the one that most people want to install is the Ornith 1.0 9B. And the reason that you want to do this one is because for most people, they simply don't have serious hardware. And for this tutorial, we're going to be using the 9B GGUF because it's the most realistic and beginner version. So for most people, don't try and download the 35B or the 397B version because they're just very, very compute intensive. If you're wondering what the GPU requirements are, they're going to be on screen now. And you can clearly see that the Ornith 9B Q4 is the best beginner choice because you only need 8 gigabytes of virtual RAM, although 12 gigabytes would be better, but you can still run this. Whereas the other models, like the 35B, you need 24 gigabytes of virtual RAM, and that can even be slow and tight. And even the Ornith 397B, that one is not for home PCs, and you need a multi-GPU/cloud data center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just download this one. You can see that this is fully offline possible. And so you can see this one is only around 5 gigabytes, and it can run on much more realistic GPUs. So let's click download here. So now you can see that it is completely downloaded. So all we need to do is either click load model or use a new chat, which is right here. And so now it's going to essentially just boot up the model. So now you can see the model here is loaded successfully, and this is exactly what we wanted to do. So this is where we can actually get started with coding tasks. Now let's enter a simple command just to double check that this is working. And you can see that this model is thinking. So I essentially just said, explain what you want on paragraph, then write a simple Python function that checks if a number is a prime. And this is a basic coding task. Now you can see here, it gives us the information, and now it gives us this simple task. So what we can do is we can actually start to test out coding specific prompts. So for example, we can say, create a simple single file HTML to do that with a clean CSS and JavaScript, put everything inside one index file so I can open it directly in my browser. We can hit enter. Remember guys, this is simply a 9 billion parameter model that is locally coding on your device. So now what we want to do is, now that we've got the code, we can just copy this. Now, if you don't have VS Code, you can install it. VS Code is essentially just a, code editor, and it's really useful and it's simply free. So let's open this. Then what I'll do is file, create a new file. And then what I will do is I'll simply paste in the text that we just had. And then what I'll do now is I can simply just file and then save this as, and then I'm just save this as index, and it's going to be saved as HTML. So because I asked for a single HTML app, Ornith gives me everything I need in one single file, the styling, the JavaScript. And of course you can see I've copied and pasted this. So now all we need to do is just simply click this file, and I'm just going to, open this up with Chrome. And then here you can see this is the simple to do app here. So we can say finish the video, and here you can see it's a simple thing. Now, most people might say that this is, crazy, and the fact that this is, not the best coder in the world. But you have to remember, this is 5 gigabytes in terms of storage, and this is running completely locally. So the internet can go down, anything can happen, and you still have a model that is capable of coding. Now, if you want to do even more than this and you want it to become even better, you can still ask it to make iterations. So I can say improve the design and add a dark mode button, and it's actually going to go ahead and make those changes. And so now we've got our code once again. So let's just click the copy button here. Once again, we go back to VS Code. We click Control A, then Control V, then Control S. And now that essentially just updates the file. So what I did, copy the code, paste in the code, save the code. So now if I go back to Chrome and then I'll click Control R. Now you can see it should have the change. And so here you can see it should have added a dark mode button, and it actually added the dark mode button as a question mark. So this is a little bit not the best, but at the same time, we could always still make changes to this. Now remember guys, what I wanted to show you is the easiest way to get started with local coding on device. Of course, this can do a lot more, but this is of course just simply a local coder that is kind of limited. But I'm going to show you guys some other things that are super useful. And so what I'm going to do is another example of something that is actually useful. So here I'm going to say, create a single HTML file that does the trading risk calculator. It should let me enter the account size, risk percentage, entry price, and stop loss and take profit. And then calculate the risk amount, portion size, reward amount, risk to ratio, include clean styling, and explain the formula in the UI. So let's go ahead. And this is a pretty beefy task, but nonetheless, we're going to see/show you guys how powerful this model is just for 9 billion parameters. Now, while that's generating, let's just generate a new file. So now let's copy this. Let's paste this in the file. Then I'm going to just file, save as. I'm going to save this as a trading thing. Then I'm just going to open this once again. And here you can see it actually gives us our risk calculator. And in fact, I should actually delete this from the first line here because that's not supposed to be there. So if I delete that and then I click save, then I come back to here and I click Control R, you can see that that is now gone. That thing was not supposed to be there. So now you can see we've got our risk calculator here. So let's say I'm risking, I don't know, let's say we start with a 25,000 account balance, risk 2%. Our entry on the asset is, I don't know, $90. Our stop loss is 89. And our take profit is 110. If we calculate the risk, it should. Now, this is one of the times where it isn't working, but I want to show you guys how you actually fix that, because the issue with smaller models when you're coding is that oftentimes they'll make mistakes. They won't be able to one-shot stuff, but that's completely fine. All you need to do is simply describe the issue. And then so when I'm here, what I'm going to say is the app UI loads, but when I click calculate risk, nothing happens. Fix the JavaScript so the button works and show the results on the page. Return the fully updated index HTML file. So all you really want to do, if it doesn't work, just input what that bug is, and then it will essentially rebuild that. So once again, let's copy the code. Now let's come over to here, Control A, Control V, then Control S, and then now this should work. So if we enter a starting balance like 10K, enter the entry price like $100, stop loss 96, and then take profit 110, we calculate risk. Now you can see it actually gives us our results. So the reason I wanted to show you guys that failure is because oftentimes smaller models will make mistakes, but the good thing about small models is that provided that you have this, loop running where you're able to ask the model and tell it, okay, you made a mistake, change this, it will be able to make that mistake. So one thing you need to understand about local coding models is that because they're smaller, they will make mistakes and there will be some gaps in their reasoning. But provided you can identify what those steps are, as long as you can simply quickly identify and clearly articulate what that problem is, the model being able to change what that will be is not going to be hard. Now, if you're wondering, what can this model actually do? Well, you have to remember that this is a small local model. It's not Claude, it's not GPT-5, it's not a full coding agent. It can help you write simple scripts, explain code, make basic web apps, and debug obvious problems. But if you're trying to build bigger projects, it will make those mistakes, especially on the super big ones. So it falls apart at, large code bases, complex React projects, advanced debugging, backend architecture, real API integrations, long context tasks, following many instructions perfectly, finding subtle logic bugs, and producing production ready code first try. So when you can think of this model, if you're trying to put this into a box, think of this 9 billion parameter model as a smart junior developer running on your own machine. It can help you move faster, but you still need to check its work. The bigger frontier models are basically more like senior developers with better memory, better reasoning, and better debugging. The main trade-off, I'd say, is privacy and cost versus capability. Because this model is completely running locally, your prompts don't have to go to a cloud AI company and you're not paying per message. But the downside is, of course, this 9 billion parameter version is much smaller than the biggest AI models. So it won't be as reliable. Use it for small coding tasks, prototypes, learning, and offline experiments, not mission critical production code.